Lewis Stevenson was not your ordinary 26-year-old. Born and raised in Derby, England, he lived for adventure. To his followers, he was an influencer who embodied freedom and pushed the limits of physical endurance and fear. But Lewis was more than just a thrill seeker. He was a son, a boyfriend, and a friend with an unquenchable thirst for life. From an early age, Lewis was drawn to the adrenaline of rooftoping, climbing skyscrapers, bridges, and structures without safety harnesses purely for the thrill. He would travel the world, scaling heights in cities like New York, London, and Croatia. For Lewis, it wasn't about fame or fortune. It was the sense of freedom and accomplishment that came with every climb. But in October 2024, what should have been another thrilling adventure ended in tragedy. Lewis and a friend traveled to Spain, where they set their sights on the Castilla-La Mancha Bridge, the tallest bridge in the country, standing at 630 feet. His family, who had often worried about his dangerous climbs, tried to talk him out of this one. Even his girlfriend Savannah had her concerns. But Lewis, driven by his desire for adventure, went ahead anyway. His family's worst fears would soon become reality. On the morning of October 13th, Lewis messaged his girlfriend, Savannah, saying, "Good morning," unaware it would be the last time they would speak. The night before, his last words to her were, "Good night, I love you." She, like his family, was concerned but always trusted that Lewis would return safely, just as he had many times before. As Lewis and his friend began their ascent up the Castilla-La Mancha Bridge, they had no safety harnesses, relying only on their grip and balance. They had reached about a quarter of the bridge's height, roughly 40 to 50 meters, when tragedy struck. Lewis wasn't feeling well. He told his friend to give him a minute, but in that moment he lost consciousness and fell. He plummeted hundreds of feet to his death. At 7:14 a.m. on that Sunday morning, Lewis's body was found by Spanish authorities. His friend, who had been climbing with him, was in shock and unable to speak. Authorities confirmed that climbing the bridge was illegal and had been prohibited for safety reasons. Investigations later revealed that rain had made the structure more slippery than usual, which could have contributed to the fall. But for his girlfriend Savannah and family, the tragedy went beyond an accident. It was a heartbreaking loss. Tributes poured in from all over. His grandfather Clifford, who had always worried about his daring lifestyle, said, "We tried to talk him out of it, but that's who he was." His heartbroken girlfriend Savannah described it as a nightmare, adding that she had been told he lost consciousness just before he fell. And his friends, fellow climbers, shared their grief, calling him the bravest and most fearless person they had ever known. Though his life ended tragically, Lewis Stevenson left behind a legacy of adventure, passion, and a unique perspective on life. For Lewis, it was never about the risks, but about the freedom that came from exploring the world's most extreme heights. He lived fully and with no regrets, always chasing that next climb, that next horizon. While his life was cut short, Lewis Stevenson lived boldly, unafraid of heights or danger. He reminds us that for some, life is about pushing boundaries, even if it means walking a thin line between safety and risk. Lewis's story will forever be remembered not just as a tragedy, but as a testament to the pursuit of passion. May he rest in peace.